those of you who were with me this morning, you already know me. We're friends, right? But for those of you who weren't in the session with me and Gesner this morning, I'll do a quick introduction. So my name is Tony Gaston. I'm the VP of Employer Partnerships at CareerWise New York. I have the privilege and pleasure to work with both our employer partners and our apprentices to make sure that this works. It's an awesome opportunity. I really enjoy my job and the opportunity that I have today to talk with the folks on this stage. So we've talked a lot about, throughout our conference about the true impact that's created through youth apprenticeship. We've talked about the fact that it's real, and now in a very real way, you're going to see why that's true. We're going to speak to both our apprentices as well as their parents and really get an insider scoop as to how the experience works. So without further ado, I'm going to be quiet for a couple of seconds, and I'm going to turn it over to our panelists, these three pairs of apprentices and parents you see before you. And we'll start with Javon. So, Javon, who are you? Who's your mom, right? And how has apprenticeship changed your lives? So that's the intro question for everybody.
Hello, everyone. My name is Javon Lewis. I go to Hunter College. I've completed 3 years of the apprenticeship. My pronouns are he, him. This is my lovely mother right here that supported me through the entire journey. The apprenticeship really changed my entire life. It kind of encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone. I used to be very antisocial, very anxious, and really shy. And it really gave me that confidence to do things like this. I never saw myself, even like 5 years before, doing stuff like this, talking in front of an entire crowd. But it really gave me the confidence to actually be able to pursue things like this, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
I love it, Siobhan. Thank you for that. Let's talk to Latoya for a second.
Good day. My name is Latoya Hales-Hugh. I'm Javon's mom, the supportive mom. I see a lot of changes in Javon since the apprenticeship. He has grown so much, his confidence. He have a big ego now, though. But he was very shy, antisocial, and since this, been great. He's good at money management right now. He do stocks with his pay, which been good, and he started buying his own clothes and shoes, nice. Which is real good.
Is he doing your taxes too?
Not yet.
That's an idea for you.
Yeah, he's still on my tax, yeah. But the good part is he started buying his own clothes and shoes.
I like that.
That's good for my part. So I think he's grown so much.
Fantastic.
And I enjoyed the whole journey. Had its up and down, but I enjoyed it. I just had to support him, and it went well.
We're happy to hear that. Thank you for that, Latoya. Let's go to Kristen and Christina.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Kajo. I'm a senior at Midwood High School, and I go by she, her pronouns. This is my mom, Christina. And this apprenticeship has changed my life for the better because, as Javon said, I used to be very antisocial and shy in Zoom meetings and just speaking aloud. And that really helped me come out of my shell. And it taught me a lot of business etiquette and networking and connecting skills, which is a really vital skill to have.
Hello, I'm Christina Kajo, Kristen's mom. I've been a nurse for about 11 years. I work at the facility where Kristen is an apprentice. And when I first learned about the opportunity, I was very excited because I wanted her to have a similar experience that I did with being exposed to many different roles in the hospital. So while me being a nurse or me working in healthcare, I wanted my child to, in my mind, have a secure career. So something that I know for sure she will be okay when she leaves my home. And with having a daughter like Kristen, who is more of a creative, who loves art and appreciates music, completely different than me, not knowing how she would navigate the world with that desire. And I wanted her to be able to have a love for her job like I do, but not putting my goals for her onto her. So I wanted this opportunity for her to do the apprenticeship so she can see that there's so many different roles in a hospital setting that can tie in her love of creativity, her love of art, and use those things to have a rewarding career to something that she can be proud of, as I am. And so far, the changes that I've seen in her have been incredible. She's a lot more responsible. As LaToya said, the money management is really interesting to see because when they don't have to pay for anything, money literally, I think, grows on trees. But now when you tie in that responsibility of having a paycheck now and discussing budgeting and discussing, well, now you probably have to pay your own phone bill. And having these kind of discussions is making them look at money completely different. Making her know, like, you know what, I really want a new record player, but I'm going to hold off until my next paycheck, which is something I've never heard her say. It's usually like, I want this, what do I have to do to get it? So that's a really great thing. And just looking at her etiquette, so how she speaks now. And, before the CareerWise apprenticeship, our discussions around college, our discussions around career were pretty taboo. She didn't really want to, I think, conceptualize the fact that I'm going to be an adult fairly soon, and they're going to want answers soon about what I'm doing after high school. And those conversations were very tense, whereas now that she has been exposed to all of these roles and been exposed to all of these professional people in her rotation, she has a little bit clearer understanding of what her future may look like. So that's extremely exciting as a parent, because I think your biggest fear is, what will they do without me? And so knowing that she has a plan, or at least a goal, is extremely comforting, and it makes you feel like I'm okay. She's okay and will be okay with the foundational principles that she's learned where she is.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that. And last but not least, let's hear from Gesner and Teresa.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody, once again. As Tony mentioned, I had the wonderful opportunity to introduce myself to you guys earlier today. My name is Gesner Jones III, and I'm a year 3 apprentice at Accenture. And today I'm here with my wonderful mother, Teresa. And I guess to answer your question, how has the apprenticeship program impacted my life? Honestly, I must say the apprenticeship program has had a major impact on my life in terms of, basic etiquette, in terms of just, interacting, in terms of, a corporate standing, especially, I want to emphasize on walking into corporate America and just really navigating my way through the corporate America and really having the ability to network and plan what exactly I want to do with the skills given to me and the opportunities given to me. I feel like being a high school student, as I mentioned before earlier this morning, a lot of high school students don't have the opportunity to really do the things that we on this panel had the opportunity to do, or in the future going to do. And I feel like that's why I love events like this, to really, vocalize the amazing things that us high school students and also college students. When I first joined the program, I was a high school student. Me and Javon went to the same high school. And now I'm officially a college student. I'm a freshman at City Tech now. And, thank you all. Thank you. And, I feel like I really wouldn't know exactly where I wanted to major in or where I wanted to go in life if it wasn't really for this program. I feel as if while I was in high school, I didn't really have a solid sense of direction or a solid plan into really navigating my life. I was just kind of going with the flow, like most high school students are. And after joining this program and seeing all the different adults within my environment really already having things done and really having their goals finalized and just working towards their goals, me being, an adolescent really hanging around them, seeing these things, I guess I kind of picked off what my peers, which are adults, are doing, and it made me kind of take everything I'm learning from them and then adapt to my environment.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Teresa Gillis. Professional name, Sergeant Gillis. I'm a federal law enforcement officer. I had a plan, and also for my son, for both of my kids, I wanted them to move forward. I was presented with the opportunity for him to join CareerWise. Got an email during COVID. It was an online situation, everyone emailed us. This guy was was around he would finish up his work, do everything online, and then run to video games, and they were offering like a tech class and program through CareerWise, picking which company he would get into. He was super excited. I didn't mind letting him go. Gesner likes to put on a show. He loves things. From the program, I noticed that he really likes to put on a show. He loves this lights, he loves the stage. I was ambushed to be on this stage anyway, so I'm here. I walked into it. You guys got to see his video, right, earlier, his video. He came home gleaming from doing that, and he found his passion. That's what I learned, that this guy is gonna go far. I'm very proud of you. He's still watching him grow and get, paycheck coming in and doing things. Money management, he's still learning it because he owes me about $1 zillion, billion, zillion, $1 trillion. He's been borrowing since, but I'm very proud of him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Teresa. Thank you all. Gesner, I bet you don't have time to play video games anymore, right? Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right, that's what I thought. At any rate, so I want to focus our next question to our apprentices. And really, I want you to think back, and for some of you, that's going to be 3 years ago. For some of you, that's going to be about 4 years ago. What did you all think your parents would think about this opportunity when you first brought it home? Let's start with you, Kristen.
My mom was ecstatic that I got this opportunity. She was actually the one that brought it up to me. And at the time, it was summer. I wasn't doing anything, and I was like, oh God, here we go, another thing. But when I saw how her face would light up when I would explain to her the different projects I was doing or the different things that I was learning, the first time I, asked her for something like an office clothing to wear on her meeting, she was so happy. She rummaged through her closet to find me something, and she was so excited. So I think she was really happy that she would get the opportunity to watch me grow in this way.
So awesome. Gesner?
Sure. Honestly, as I mentioned earlier, my mom was given an email and she sent it to me. And I'm pretty sure she was ecstatic to get an email that would keep me productive outside of playing video games. Because the moment she saw it, she didn't even really give me a brief description of it. She said, here, apply. And I was just like, sure, why not? And I remember joining the first CareerWise meeting, and I saw a bunch of different high school students, and I saw people that work for CareerWise explaining exactly what the overall program was. And off that first initial meeting, I was sold, mainly because of the benefits that they were going to offer me. And at the time, I didn't necessarily know how long we were going to be in quarantine. I didn't really. A lot of us were, kind of uncertain of how things were going to go. So I did assume originally that it was mainly going to be virtual. However, once quarantine ended, and then I was able to, walk into my office and see everything for the first time, it was a complete shock. And once I told my mom, she even got more excited because I'm not sure if all of you know this, but when it comes to CareerWise in high schools, they will shorten your schedule so that you can attend your working hours. So saying that I go to school early in the morning and leave somewhat early to work in the afternoon, my mom was excited. And I'm not sure for the people in the crowd who do have kids who love to brag to your friends about what your child does. My mom's one of those people who does that. So whenever I did anything like the video, she was always calling friends saying, oh, Gesner did this, Gesner did that, just always bragging about it. So I could just tell every day, the more and more I came to her with more information about what I was doing for my client or what I was just doing for Accenture in general, she would just get more and more excited about it.
And I'm sure you weren't opposed to all that bragging, right?
Absolutely not, absolutely not.
That didn't sound like a complaint. And Javon, what did you think?
For me, my mom always kind of believed in me. She saw potential in me when I didn't. She always knew that I had something in me. So when I was offered the opportunity is whether or not I would take it or not. That was the real important question. So when I told her, hey, I signed up for this new program, she was like, oh, okay. Because she kind of already knew that I was destined to be something greater than what I am now. So after my entire journey, she would just constantly give me support. If I ran into any issues, she knew that I would be able to handle it, but she would just give me her advice of how I could handle it, what I need to do better, be on my back, always make sure I wake up early in the morning to make sure I go to work. And she's really my driving factor for each and every day of my life. Just going through every day of work, every day of school, just knowing that she always believed in me, even though I didn't see the potential in myself. It kind of motivated me to do better. So I'm really thankful for her each and every day of my life.
Oh, man. Yeah. And if you would allow me to kind of put that in a nutshell. So basically, at such an early age, and really that goes for all of you, she let you own your journey, but supported you heavily throughout that journey. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you all for that. Let's turn our attention to our moms, right? And I'm going to talk to you for a little while, right? There's going to be a few questions, right? Now, disclaimer, pretend your children aren't here. If you want to embarrass them, this is the time to do it. But first question, right? So, really curious to know what your initial reaction actually was, right? And then I guess the secondary question is, before your child presented this opportunity to you, were you familiar with youth apprenticeship?
I wasn't really familiar with it before, but I knew he had it in him. When he came home and told me about it, I said, you got this, because he was nervous. He was like, Mom, I don't think I can do it. That was him from earlier. But I showed him a picture that he had from junior high that he wanted to become a computer programmer. And he had a plaque in his hand. I said, this is what you want. This is what you're going to do. This is your opportunity. So I was there behind him with it. So I try to support him 100%. I'm his alarm in the mornings, get up. And he playing games too. So he's up late. I said, not now. I cut him off from games.
It's like, you got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't care. He's 19, but I said, listen, you have work, you have school, so this is what we're doing, no games until weekends. So that's what I had to do with him. And it worked. It really worked.
Yeah,
it's just a drastic change in him. It's a drastic change, trust me.
I love that.
Yeah.
And Christina?
Well, Kristen has always been very focused and driven in everything she did. Sometimes I think probably she gets that from me. When you want to do something, it's laser focus. And when I brought it to her attention, my main concern was that, how do I have a child working, going to school, trying to also prepare for the college application process, which is an animal in itself, and also be able to be a kid, enjoy the years that you have before responsibility really rolls around. And I was concerned about that because at times Kristen can be so focused where those things are not a priority. And as an adult, sometimes they think you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what I'm going through, but I do. I have been there. So in encouraging her to, spend time with your friends, be on the phone, do certain things that a teenager does was something that I felt was important. And I kind of stepped back from, putting a handle on certain things because I knew if it was up to her, she'll be all work and no play because she's pretty much always been focused on putting her best foot forward, which I'm not complaining. I am so happy at that fact and so proud that she continues to, go forth in everything that I present to her, and I present all kinds of things to her. CareerWise was just one of the things that we've gotten into. But anytime I can have her be a part of something that will better her future, we're going. it don't matter if you like to or not. But I'm glad that she's always trusted me and has been on board for that journey. Because ultimately, as parents, you have their best interests at heart. And in her allowing me to, take her on this journey, I've just stayed within myself to know that I want her to be a whole person and not just be who your career will be. So you're not just a graphic designer, you're not just a nurse. There's a lot of different things that you can be, and I want her to see that in going through all of these different rotations that she's going in. So I was very pleased to see that she took it upon herself to focus on this and take it seriously and communicate with her peers, communicate with the people in her rotations on if she's going to be late, if she has other obligations as a senior. She, clocks in and clocks out. And that responsibility is really big for a teenager because sometimes they don't want to wake up. They don't want to have this big responsibility. But her owning it and making it her own was something that allowed me to step back and say, she's got it. I don't have to be behind her. So that was a great thing.
Yeah. So really for you, Christina, the balance you had to help establish for Kristen was around, just including that social aspect of life, right? And, I think really in that, right, that balance is important because, the habits that are established now for Kristen will really follow for an entire lifetime. So really glad that you were able to instill that lesson early and show that balance can exist. So thank you for that. Teresa, I'm going to reframe the question for you a little bit because, I understand from your comments that you're the one who presented the opportunity for Gesner, right? So could you just walk through for everybody what your thought process were, why you were so excited about this opportunity for Gesner?
Well, prior to the CareerWise introduction, I've always, like certain emails, we might not read our emails or check it, programs that I might have received from like your phone company, and they'll have things that's offering to your kids, like internships, and I would always sign both my kids up for it. So I signed him up prior to something else before this. He was doing it, and then it stopped, it was over with, but it was only online. So when CareerWise was presented to me through email, listen, you're gonna do this is what's gonna happen, you're gonna start early, because in the real world, when they get older, they want the degree and they want the experience. So starting out with the experience early and getting them into a habit early, catching it early learning, early everything, it looks great on a resume. We started resumes early in this household. We started talking about budgets early in this house. So wanting him to push forward and become more into, if you want to do this, we're going to do it. This is, be sure. And I know kids aren't sure, but to give him a taste early and let him see so he can make that decision was great. I mean, it changed him. It went from going to school and wearing his jeans and sweatpants to, Mom, they're making fun of me because I'm wearing my shoes to school, struggling, making it through PE because he wouldn't even wear sneakers anymore to school. So it changed him, getting him, well, he was always getting up to go to school early and things like that, but I got to go to work today was a different feel for him. He was the man now.
Yeah, I attest to that. I mean, wear those shoes, Gesner, right? No, thank you for that, Teresa. I mean, and thank you for just seeing the opportunity, right? I think sometimes, in this space, it can be difficult, right, to see past tradition, what traditional pathways are, and see the opportunity inherent in this to get like that head start, right, on experience and career stuff. So appreciate that. Teresa, we'll stay with you. I have one more question for now for you moms. The question I want to ask is, if there was one thing that you would have liked to know before your child started this thing, what would that one thing be?
Man,
what would you wanted
to know?
Yeah.
I felt like I knew everything was on board. I mean, I didn't know when he applied, when he went through CareerWise, I didn't know that there were so many different agencies that he applied for. He got a lot of callbacks. It almost felt like they were tussling for him because he did submit a resume, and his resume already presented that he was in internships prior to. So it was pretty impressive. At 15, 16, he had already did a few things. So he was, Mom, I got called back for this. And I'm like, I don't know which one for him to pick. I don't want to I let him make his own decision.
Nice.
Thank goodness I didn't have to do that. That part was kind of hard, because if I would have made the wrong decision, he would have brought it back up. Remember when you made me do that? That's about it. That's it.
Awesome. I'm glad it worked out. And Christina?
I think I, as well, had a lot of information going in. I heard about the program the previous year, but it wasn't really up and running at that time for her to get into. So I felt like there was a missed opportunity. But I wish I would have known that there were programs out there like this. I thought when she missed that opportunity that it was missed, and that was that. So when it came around again, I jumped on it because I knew how rewarding any type of apprenticeship, internship is for a young person. Having the ability to see what other people do in their careers is an amazing lens, because you can rule out a lot of different things before you delve into a career that you regret. And that's one thing I wanted for her, to be able to make an informed decision. Not all immediately off the bat, she's like, I don't want to be a nurse. Fine, but what do you want? So we know what you don't want, but what do you want? So that was one of the things that was important to me, and I think for a lot of parents, just knowing what is out there, because I don't think that we're often privy to that information unless we are, tied into certain communities or tied into certain institutions like I am. That's how I learned about CareerWise. But I wish that not only for myself, but for other parents, know what resources are out there so that they can present these opportunities to their children. Because if we leave it up to them, that's not really something that they'll run to. Like, oh, Mom, I have the opportunity to work. Probably not. But if there's a lot more resources for parents that we can give our children opportunities at the first chance, then that would be great. But I'm glad that we were able to get in at the time we did.
I love it. And that really speaks to a question that I'll ask later around advice for other parents. But I think that's a good start for the answer for that question as well. LaToya, what do you wish you knew ahead of time?
I wish I knew that we should have chosen colleges close by. He had chose colleges in Florida, upstate, and then he'd lose the apprenticeship when he came to college. That was his last year. So last minute, he had to apply for Hunter program for the summer. The problem was, if he failed, he wouldn't get to go to Hunter. He would be out of college. He had scholarships in Florida. We had to give it up. So last minute, he did the summer program for Hunters. He didn't get no summer holiday. He graduated the Friday, Monday. He was in college. So that was something we had to think about. What we going to do? Because the possibility is, if he didn't pass those tests for the summer, he had to give Accenture 1 year, they said, full-time to work with them, no college. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that. You're going to find a college close by, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do both. So I wish we had known that before he applied for colleges all over. Because he got accepted in scholarships all over, mostly upstate and Florida.
That's so real and visceral, right? And that's, for you, Javon, a visceral process to go to, get accepted to all these schools out of state, think you're going to live the campus life, and then it's like, wait a minute, I have this whole apprenticeship to finish, right? So, again, I think that speaks to seeing the greater opportunity and how that experience can be leveraged in the future for you, Javon. So I'm glad that you encouraged him in that direction. We're going to turn our attention back to our apprentices. So, this is your turn to embarrass your parents. I want to be fair here and democrative, right? So question, we'll start with you, Javon. So what do you think the biggest challenge for your mom was going through this experience? And you've been through the entire experience, so you can draw on this from a holistic point of view.
I feel like the biggest challenge is probably around COVID time. She's very overprotective, which is understandable, mother's bond. But when it came to COVID vaccines, she was very hesitant at first. But with encouragement from my coworkers, family members, friends, they know how much I love this job and the experience overall. So I didn't want it to end here, especially with it being my passion. And she definitely knew how much I loved the job, how much effort I put in, waking up early. There was a time where I even had to go to work, go to school, come back to work, and then go back home. And then
Go back to school.
Yeah, go back to school, then come back home, where I had to come back home around 9 at night.
Sometimes 11. Even
Even 11, yeah. So she knew how much effort I put in, and then she gave in, it's a children's benefits, just give them puppy eyes, and then.
You brought up the puppy eyes?
Yeah.
Did you do the lip thing too?
Yeah, the little quiver.
Okay.
So eventually she finally said yes, and then I continued my journey, and then ever since then I've just been growing more and more.
I love it. Thank you for that. Kristen?
I think my mom's biggest challenge was watching me kind of go into the actual hospital, because I used to work in the supply chain before I transferred over to development, which is fully remote. And I used to travel by myself, and I was still pretty young. I used to travel by myself, and as it got colder, it got darker earlier. And, I had my Metro card, and I was walking 10 blocks to the express bus every time I had to go to work. And just, as a parent, you want to know your child is safe and you want to know your child is okay. So I think that was a little bit nerve-wracking. My phone would die. I wouldn't be able to contact them. I would ignore her messages while I'm doing homework on the bus. So yeah, I think that caused her a little bit of anxiety. As far as now, I'm in development. I think her biggest challenge is she plays a very active role in college applications with me. So struggling that and watching me go through college applications and her trying to help me, that's a little bit of a struggle too.
All right. Christina, did you know about the ignored messages? Is this new news? Okay. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a visceral revelation, right? But no, thank you for that, Kristen. And finally, Gesner, please.
Absolutely, thank you. Honestly, I'd say the biggest challenge that my mom probably faced, or an issue that we kind of had to go through, was when I first joined the Youth Apprenticeship Program and I entered via the 1 Manhattan West office. Like you said earlier, it would get darker towards the winter very quickly, and since my schedule when I was in high school was 1 to 5, I would sometimes remember my mom call me and be like, "Boy, where you at?" And I'm just like, "Mom, I'm getting off of work." And then she's just like, "Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure you were safe." And I'm like, "All right, bye, Mom." And then I'd hang up and then go home. But I'd say after I had the opportunity to bring my mom into the office, and she got to see the things that I've been working on and the different things that the program was offering, not just to me, but the other youth apprentices, I think that allowed her to give me a little bit more leeway in terms of me staying there longer, or me just, her not having to feel like she needs to call me exactly at 5 or at 4:30 to check and see where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You answered her calls?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, I promise.
Okay. We'll go with that. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Have one last question for everybody, and we have officially entered the lightning round, right? So 30 seconds or less. What's the one piece of advice that all of you would give to parents who are considering allowing their children to take advantage of youth apprenticeship? Teresa, we'll start with you, and we'll go right down the line.
If parents are thinking about it, considering, once you let them come in, they'll be their own person. They'll learn. That's the start of their development and growth of adulthood. So give it a try. You won't regret it.
To follow up what my mom said, to parents out there, I don't know what it's like being a parent, but if you are very interested, I hope all of you are, and specifically for your kids and your child's development, an internship at a young age will definitely help them build their resume and put them ahead of the competition, which is, the people their age.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry, Mom.
Definitely, I would piggyback on that. Just do it. Also, do the research. So, if you hear about an opportunity, research what other opportunities are out there. And that's what I think I didn't do, and I would definitely advise parents to do that. And also, don't just go in the space where you work. So, I had the opportunity to have Kristen work at the hospital I do, but not even thinking, like, is there something else out there? That's all I knew, because that's how I entered the hospital, and that's how I knew what job I wanted to do. But just keep an open mind with what they might have goals for themselves, and listen to that. Listen to your child, but also listen to your own intuition and what you think is best for them. Every opportunity is not the best opportunity. So while I think that it's important for them to get experience, making the decision on what experience is good for them, I think, is the best thing. So that's where research comes in, and just weighing your options on what you think the best thing is for your child. And I think as a parent, that's all we do, is weigh the risks and benefits of every opportunity or everything that comes our way, to see, is this something that will affect them in a great way when they get older. And I knew her going through any program, she would soak it up, but in kind of piggybacking on what I want her to do is just be successful and also enjoy her career. So I knew that this experience would do that for her.
I very much agree. Come with an open mind and just really communicate with your child, because they might have different career goals and what you have in mind for them, and it's really good to find a good medium to do.
Awesome.
I think every child should have this opportunity. It was great when I see he could afford to build his PC, buy the parts. His credit score is better than everyone in the house. My daughter
That part.
Everyone. Like, my daughter is 21, and she ain't doing well. She need money every week, right? And she's in Buffalo
Does she
College.
ask him for money?
She's 21, and to see he's 19, and he's like, "Mom, I need a book for $300." And he say, "Mom, but I got it. And then when I hear my daughter calling me, like, "Mom, I need grocery. Mom, the rent due," is a total difference. So I think it's a great opportunity for them. It's been fabulous. I enjoyed the whole journey. We had some ups and downs, but it was fabulous. I love it. Although my whole living room right now, covered with like computers, light, everything is light in the living room, like you think it's Christmas every day. So he have this big PC, and then he buy the heap of monitors around the house, but hey, he worked for it, so I allow him. So that's where his money goes, the gadget, everything. And that big wall we have in the house, that big green screen, I tell him, take it down. It don't look good in my living room. But he said, I need it for my meetings. I was like, all right, but when the meeting time comes, you put it up, but take it out. Yeah. So I think it's a great opportunity, and you will love it. I think it's fun. You enjoy it with them.
I love it.
Although we can't touch it. And yeah, we can't touch the PC. We can't touch it. We're not allowed. His little brother, no, we're not allowed. So nobody don't go in the space. Yeah, but it's great.
Awesome.
I think it's great. I don't regret nothing about it. It's great.
I love that.
My piece of advice would probably be that whatever they're passionate about, whatever they're choosing as their kind of career goal, they will become really strengthened in that area. For me, it was always technology. I went to a technology middle school, went to a technology high school. I'm chasing computer science as my major in college. It's always been like my ideal of what I want to do in my life. So I feel like if your child wants this opportunity, you should definitely encourage them to take it so they could further their skills down the line. Not only are they gaining the skill, but they're gaining that confidence and their ability to be able to be complete in this area. So that would definitely be my kind of advice for the parents. Just continue to support your kids. Of course, they're gonna have their ups and downs where they feel like they might wanna give up, where they feel like that the world is crashing upon them. You know, they finally know what stress is. So,
You know what stress is?
so I'll definitely encourage it, and just stay by them. At the end of the day, what all children want, what all child wants is just the support of their parents, and just that undivided, advice being there for them 100% of the way. Even when at their lowest, they still want to come to their parents. So yeah.
This is awesome, and you heard it here first. Every teenager should go through a youth apprenticeship opportunity. So remember, I had 2 jobs today. I think I fulfilled one of them. My second one was to get you all to dinner on time. But before that, I think we have time for 1, maybe 2 questions in the audience. So who has a burning question? Please.
Thanks so much for joining. My name is Jessica Freed. I work at Wells Fargo, and we are starting our first youth apprenticeship early 2024, so really exciting. I'd love to hear from the students a little bit about what was maybe a project or a assignment from your apprenticeship that really just had an impact on you that made you say, wow, I love this, or wow, this is really a great opportunity.
Gesner?
I was waiting for somebody to ask this question. So pretty much, I'm a technology youth apprentice at Accenture. However, whenever I do have the opportunity, to do extra things, I definitely take the opportunity to do so. And if you were here earlier today, early in the morning, we presented a video that me and other apprentices presented. It's okay. I'll provide you context. So I thought I was definitely heavily impacted by the youth apprenticeship program, so much so that I wanted to spread more awareness, and I wanted to help the marketing team of the apprenticeship program just provide them more content to use to reach a greater audience. And with that being said, I created a project called Project IME, and it stands for Inspire, Motivate, and Entertain. And it was a 2-minute and 50-second promotional advertisement, pretty much covering the entire youth apprenticeship program. And it was a long journey, it was a long process, but to summarize it, after presenting the idea to managing directors at Accenture, they ended up funding me money to basically get everything set up, and we were able to create it and present it to you guys earlier this morning. I'd say after, being the director and, project lead of the overall project, it definitely gave me a big passion in production, which is why at City Tech, I'm kind of focused around production. And yeah. Thank you.
Javon, Kristen, anything to add?
I recently did not recently, but probably like 2 rotations ago, I did a presentation for the SLT, the senior leadership team, and it was pretty big. It was the whole board and kind of the ones who facilitate the rotations and what's going on. And that really stuck out to me because I used to be somebody that was really shy and didn't like presentations and never showed my face on Zoom. Some of my middle school teachers probably don't know what I look like to this day. We had to go over an overview of everything that we've done since last October when I started working there. And it was just really amazing to see my growth and to see how I really blossomed into this social butterfly online, which I never used to be. And that really stuck out to me because even when I'm doing my presentations now, or when I'm doing projects where I have to present something to my supervisor, it's way easier. So that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, thank you.
For me, it was kind of different. I was actually selected into like a specialized team for Accenture, like a specialized IT team, where we kind of fix the innovative technology around the office. And I've been the only apprentice so far to do that. Am I still the only apprentice?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Javon over here setting records.
Yeah, pretty much. So they were really impressed with my interview about and how my knowledge about technology and my passion for it. So with this opportunity, I was able to work with robotics, such as like Spot Dynamic, where they pretty much have like robotic dogs. I worked with a lot of robotic dogs over the years. We worked with Temi. We worked with a lot of like just innovative technology. We worked with like lasers, 3D printers, and it was just like a lot of things to do in that area of field. And we just go around. I'll be honest, I haven't really seen a lot of the other apprentices because of how busy I am usually. So they would really just find me randomly around the office. So there would be times where I'm like on the 67th floor, and then a random apprentice is like, "You're up here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm working up here today. Why are you here?" So it's a really great opportunity. I would say that out of all of the things that I've done, I love every one of it, but I feel like the best project I've worked on would probably be presenting the items to other clients, because I've never actually been presenting and before Accenture. So when I had the opportunity to present like the robotics that I've studied over the course of 3 months, I had to set up like demonstrations, talk to different clients, show them examples of what the product could do, and just kind of like encourage them to like fund into the object of this using. So, yeah.
That is phenomenal. So, unfortunately, we are at time, although I'm sure you will agree that we should just keep it going, right? Right. Unfortunately, we can't. However, thank you. This was a beautiful panel. I appreciate each and every one of you for participating today and sharing a bit of yourselves in your stories and your experiences with everybody here. For everybody else, thank you for listening. In a nutshell, this is real. It works. I'm going to steal a quote that Gesner gave earlier from the Accenture CEO, Julie Sweet. She said, "If your dreams don't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough," or something to that effect, right? And I think, all of these apprentices here really exemplify that. They have really big dreams that they pursued. At times, these were scary dreams, but we see that the results, chef's kiss, priceless. So thank you all again. Thank you.